Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Today we're talking about the Atomic Backland 100. This ski's awesome. It's been around for a few seasons now. First time I skied it, I was absolutely blown away. I've told that story numerous times before, so maybe I don't need to tell it in its entirety here, but just such a cool ski. Another thing that we've talked about before is how interesting it is that Atomic has 3 skis that are 100 underfoot, and really among those 3 skis, the shapes are pretty similar too. So I'm talking Backland 100 that we have in front of us, as well as Maverick 100 and Bent 100. So really how they take those skis and differentiate them is a little bit through shape, but more through construction. And that's really kind of where you get the differing performance among these skis. So this is the Backland 100. The Atomic Backland collection is home to all of their touring skis. I would say confidently, and I would invite anybody to argue with me, that this is the most versatile ski in Atomic's Backland touring collection, both in different snow conditions and terrain that it can ski, and also in how you take it and kind of customize it for your own application. So binding choice, where you're going to ski it, how often you're touring. It can be a world of different things for a number of different skiers, which I think is really cool. So to start in construction in this ski, we get an ultralight wood core. We also get Atomic's carbon backbone. So those are really the 2 most important elements to construction, and the resulting weight, if you see me just kind of tossing this thing around, is quite impressive. So about 1,360 grams in this 180 centimeter length. That is very light. There are obviously lighter skis on the market. There are also considerably heavier skis on the market that still kind of come along with that touring tag. So I think it's really cool the weight that they achieve in this ski. I think that's especially cool because of the performance that they achieve as well. So a pretty supportive, kind of snappy flex pattern to this ski. You know, some touring skis, when they get super light, they can be like jarringly stiff. This ski is stiff and strong, but it has some suppleness to the flex, so to speak. And then to round out construction up here, we get Atomic's Horizon Tech. I think that's super cool. It's only in the tip of these skis, much like the Maverick skis, rather than tip and tail like Bent's. That's just giving the tip a little bit better soft snow feel, a little bit more maneuverability too, and just forgiveness. I think it really comes in handy in the backcountry specifically. You never know what you're going to hit. You know, sometimes in the backcountry in an uncontrolled environment, you're going to hit some firm snow, maybe some ice or something like that, just under the snow surface. And having a tip like this that's not like super reactive, I think is really cool and kind of gives the ski more forgiveness and more versatility. This is a truly directional ski. You know, I said those Mavericks and those Bents have similar shapes. Really, the shape of this is more similar to Maverick than it is to Bent. So we get quite a bit of tip rocker up here. Maybe not a crazy amount, but I think plenty for a ski that's 100 underfoot that's designed to be skied off-piste. And then a little bit less tail rocker, kind of a nod to the directional nature of this ski. Not really something that's intended to be skied backwards, nor would I recommend it. And that's it for construction and shape. Pretty straightforward. I think easily the most impressive thing about it is how light it is and how good the performance is. And that was my first reaction. I kind of mentioned that story that I've told before. Must be almost 3 years ago now when the ski first came out. Our Atomic rep was kind of begging me to ski it on a test day, and I reluctantly did so. I wasn't like super fired up about skiing it or testing it, and was just blown away by how good it felt, even on just a groomer. It doesn't feel super light when you're skiing it downhill, which is kind of I'd say the goal for a ski like this. You want it to feel light and efficient on the uphill, but you don't want it to feel flimsy and that it's getting like deflected super easily on the downhill. I think they do a really good job of retaining some strength and vibration damping in this ski and giving it enough performance to ski it kind of aggressively and confidently, so to speak. I love the way it kind of wiggles. It doesn't wiggle like not quite as maneuverable as, say, a bent 100. That ski's got a little bit more tail rocker and just feels a little bit looser. But with that Horizon tech and the just lightweight feel of this ski, super easy to flick around. So really does allow you to do a lot of things. I've seen a number of them out on the mountain with atomic shift binding, or a Solomon shift, or an Armada shift too, for that matter. I think you could put kind of anything like that on it and do just fine. Obviously not matching brands, but something like a Marker Kingpin kind of feels like a good choice. And then you also could go, like, absolutely no reason to not go full tech and just put a true lightweight tech touring binding on here. You know, we're just over 1,300 grams. The ski itself is really light, and if you put a binding like that on it, you're really kind of steering it more towards touring specific. One thing I wouldn't do, and I feel like maybe I've said that this could be a possibility in the past, but the more I think about it, it doesn't make too much sense. I probably wouldn't put an alpine binding on it. As much as I was impressed by how it performed in an alpine resort environment, it's really not the highlight of this ski, and you could just move to something like the Maverick 100 and get very similar performance, just adding on a little bit more weight and a little bit more power, which the weight factor doesn't really matter because you're riding the chairlift anyway. So great ski, really good for a variety of different touring skiers and applications out there. So yeah, Backland 100. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will talk to you soon.